Every real estate investor hits that moment where they're staring at their equity like it's a sleeping giant, wondering whether to wake it up or just let it snore. Today, we're cracking open one of the most misunderstood decisions in the game: refinance for cash or refinance for rate. And the wrong answer can cost you years. Let's set the table real quick. Refinancing isn't just paperwork. It's a strategic pivot that reshapes your entire financial posture. We're talking about choosing between pulling out equity today or locking in cheaper debt forever. And both paths lead somewhere very different. The cash out refinance is the move where you replace your existing mortgage with a larger one and pocket the difference, essentially converting your equity into deployable capital. Think of it like squeezing juice from your property. The fruit stays on the counter, but now you've got something you can actually use. A rate and term refinance, on the other hand, leaves your loan balance roughly the same, but swaps your interest rate or loan structure for something more favorable. It's less sexy on the surface, but dropping your rate by even 1.5% on a $300,000 loan can save you nearly $100,000 over the life of that note. Here's where investors get tripped up. They treat these two strategies like they're competitors, when really they're tools for completely different jobs. Pulling cash makes sense when you have a high confidence deployment opportunity staring you in the face, like a distressed property at 60 cents on the dollar or a value add deal with clear upside. Lowering your rate makes sense when your cash flow is tight, your debt service is eating your margins, or you're playing defense in an uncertain market. A lot of investors in 2022 learned this the hard way, when rates went from 3% to 7% in what felt like 15 minutes, and their whole strategy had to be rethought overnight. The psychological trap is that cash feels like winning. You see a big deposit hit your account, and your brain releases the same chemicals it would if you found $20 in an old jacket. But borrowed money is never free, and every dollar you pull out is a dollar accruing interest. So conviction in your next move has to be ironclad before you pull that trigger. History gives us a pretty clear pattern. Investors who cash out refinanced at the peak of a cycle in 2006 and 2007, then dumped that capital into more speculative purchases, got absolutely wrecked when values dropped 30 to 40%. The ones who survived and thrived were sitting on lower debt loads, healthier cash flow, and dry powder to buy when everyone else was bleeding. Here's the cycle nobody talks about enough. Real estate moves in roughly 10 to 18-year waves, and where you sit in that wave should heavily influence which refinance strategy you lean toward. Early and mid-cycle, when appreciation is running hot and rates are favorable, cash out can be a legitimate wealth accelerator. Late cycle, it starts to look a lot more like gambling. One massive misconception we need to kill right now: pulling equity out does not put your property at risk if the market drops. What puts your property at risk is pulling equity out without a plan and then having no cash reserves when your HVAC dies, your tenant leaves, and your variable rate adjusts all in the same month. That's the real villain here. The practical playbook looks like this. Before any refinance decision, run your debt service coverage ratio. And if pulling cash drops you below 1.2, you've got your answer. If you're cash out refinancing, deploy within 90 days, or the opportunity cost and carrying cost of that new, higher loan balance will quietly eat your returns alive. Sizing matters more than timing here. Don't pull every dollar of equity just because the bank will let you. Leave a buffer. Keep your loan to value below 70 to 75%, and treat the cash out like a tool with a job description, not a lottery payout. The most disciplined investors we've seen aren't the ones who always know when to pull cash or when to lower rate. They're the ones who have a written criteria list and refuse to deviate from it when emotions or market FOMO come knocking. Process over conviction every single time. At the end of the day, there is no universally right answer between these two strategies. There's only the right answer for your market position, your risk tolerance, your deal pipeline, and your timeline. Discipline, sizing, and consistency are the only edges that compound reliably over decades. Whether you end up with a lower rate, a pile of cash, or the wisdom to wait, that clarity alone puts you ahead of 90% of investors who just sign whatever their lender puts in front of them. And if you want help figuring out which move makes sense for your specific situation, whether that's real estate investing strategy, connecting with lenders, or finding the right contractors for your next project, check out our links in the description below.